What's up guys, welcome to Veldora-kun. From our previous episodes, we have seen how the kingdom of Pharmus is blown away by what they found out. Also, King Edmulus stepped down from his throne. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, we will put the links in the description below. You can watch in these videos what happened during the Walpurgis battle and the upcoming events. Just a quick warning, this videos contain spoilers from the light novel. Also, as you have noticed, I use different scenes and characters from other anime as reference because it fits the scene. Also, Tensura still hasn't revealed on their anime some of the light novel characters and scenes. So I had to put other anime's character for the role to visualize the story better. Another thing, I want to introduce to you our Discord community. I present to you the Veldora-kun Subordinates. If you wish to join our server, the link is in the description below. See you there. So now in this video we will review what happened next, where Rimuru's subordinates went back to Jura Tempest. But before we will proceed, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now without further ado, let's proceed with the video. Shuna and Sowei returned the day after Diablo's narration of his report. "We've made it back safely," Shuna said. Several clones of Sowei are left to secure the perimeter of Clayman's base, while Hakuru was asked to take care of some business. He assisted Geld in coordinating the investigation of Clayman's castle, the recovery of trophies and the management of hostages. The following night, Benimaru's party also returned, and he explained that they left the command to their outstanding lieutenants. He left the aftermath of the match for the Beastketeers to deal with. Rimuru also asked, "By the way, is Gabiru still on the battlefield?" And Benimaru replied, "Yes." Gabiru got along quite well with Master Milim's subordinate Midlay, so he decided to help with the wrap-up. So Geld is at Clayman's base, while Gabiru remained on the battlefield. The Jura Tempest has gained profit from the hard labor of the many captives from Clayman's army and base. Some captives have already seen how Benimaru burned Charybdis, so no one would dare rebel against them. Also, the Beastketeers are there. They will return along with Gabiru, the rescued civilians, captives and everyone else altogether. Rimuru asked why would the Beastketeers return as well. And Benimaru replied that since the capital of Eurazania has been wiped out by Milim, they decided to join the Tempest Federation for the time being. Rimuru asked, "But can we even accommodate all those people?" And Benimaru assured him that he has already discussed with Geld and Albus and they have organized the captives into several major brigades to seek residence in different locations, so Rimuru doesn't have to worry. All of Rimuru's subordinates are really reliable. Since Carrion has stepped down from his title as Demon Lord and became Milim's subordinate, it means that the kingdom of Eurazania has become Milim's territory as well. Rimuru thinks to himself that Milim doesn't have any actual subordinates. It may seem the worshippers of dragons are her subordinates, but in reality, they are not under her command because they only worship Milim. Rimuru asked Benimaru one last time about the new citizens' residences and Benimaru and Rigard assured Rimuru that everything's settled. They are able to carry out their own decisions even without guidance and Rimuru is somewhat lonely because it would mean that they will be fine even without him. Several days after Benimaru's party returned, Diablo enters the office at midnight while holding a dark box. He said, "Rimuru-sama, I've negotiated with the kingdom of Pharmus as planned, and this box contains the peace treaty document along with 1,500 star gold coins as compensation." He then handed the box to Rimuru and Rimuru even almost forgot about it. He now feels as though his subordinate is working hard while he is slacking. But he convinced himself that he is not being lazy. Besides, it won't matter because his goal is power to the people while upholding the title of king. He nodded to Diablo and replied, "Oh, that's great. Speaking of which, there seem to be more star gold coins than I imagined. In the first place, their demand for 10,000 star gold coins already seem unreasonable." He learned that it is still a mystery whether the total star gold coins in circulation in this world would even add up to 10,000. The producer of coins, King Gazel said, "The star gold coin can only be produced once a month. I've heard that since the creation of our nation, there has been some periods when no star gold coin at all is produced. That's why its rarity makes for its value. And Rimuru is amazed that the powerful nation of Farmus was able to actually gather so many of them. And Diablo explained that most of the coins came from King Edmulus. Most of these star gold coins belong to the royal treasury, and since the Night Order is now gone, the royal family isn't protected and would be robbed by the nobles. Rimuru asked, won't they be fighting each other then as planned? And Diablo responded, yes, that would definitely be the case. I doubt the new king would accept having the rest of the debts be kept in forms of ledger. King Edmulus gave away his crown and became a viscount. He has now moved to a small rural land, and from everyone else's viewpoint, Edmulus has completely given up his ambition for power. With that being the case, the other factions who don't wish to take on responsibility of repaying the remaining compensation would likely try to pin the rest of responsibility to Edmulus. The territory where Edmulus stays is also the land where Youm is staying. Rimuru asked if Youm would stop it if the new king tries to sacrifice Edmulus, and Diablo responded, yes. We will have Youm-san accuse the new king for being dishonest in the deal. There would definitely be a riot by that time. Rimuru thinks that it's a perfect plan and Diablo is really reliable and talented. He is a bit too smart, so much so that it is almost intimidating. But it seems Diablo can accomplish anything handed to him. Rimuru suggested supporting Diablo, and Diablo rejected Rimuru's offer and said that knowing Rimuru's support is already lovely to him and their forces will be sufficient with how everything is set up. Or perhaps, you would want to grant me the honor of joining the battle, and Rimuru interrupted him by saying, no. I'll prepare some extra forces, but you have to lay low yourself. Rimuru knows best how strong Diablo truly is, and he won't be stupid enough to misuse such power. His power is simply too wasteful to be used on an average human nation. Diablo understood and replied, understood. I shall stay low and completely veil myself behind the scene. Then Rimuru turned to Xian and said, Xian, you should learn more from Diablo. Where Xian fired back, but why? I've always stayed calm and followed through with your orders. After the report, Diablo suddenly recalled something and asked Rimuru, Rimuru-sama, the Western Saints Church is trying to establish contact with my subordinate Raham. They seem to be summoning him in hope of uncovering the details of our battle against the Farmus kingdom. What's your view on the matter? Rimuru thinks that it would be problematic if they leave things as it is. So it is suggested if they send him to do a scripted explanation. Since there are only 3 survivors, it is natural that the church would want to hear his story. Then Diablo explained that it may be because of the fact that Veldora has indeed been revived, but the timing does not align with their story. The Western Saints Church seemed to be monitoring Veldora all these times, so our story may be exposed if that's the case. Then Rimuru begins to ponder if they should let Archbishop Raham tell the Western Saints Church the truth. But it may pose a problem on Rimuru's future plan. He aims for a relationship like the relationship between Kingdom of Dworgen and the church. The two are not on good terms since the dwarves treat monsters equally, which conflicts with the belief of the church. But they didn't become aggressive, instead both simply ignore each other. Rimuru aims to have a relationship like that as well. If the Western Saints Church still consider them as the nemesis of God, then unfortunately they will have to put up a fight. If things turn out that way, then it leaves them no choice but to destroy them without mercy. Rimuru then gave orders to Diablo on what to do, and he prepares. Diablo orders Raham and sent him to the Western Saints Church, but a few more days has passed and there hasn't been any response from the Western Saints Church. They probably won't be able to decide how to deal with the revived Veldora and the newborn demon lord Rimuru. The Beastketeers arrived, including all the captives, and they would all amount to tens of thousands of people. Beastketeers Alvis and Sufia greeted Rimuru. Rimuru realized one of them is missing and asked where is Phobio. Sufia answers, about that, Phobio stayed back to keep an eye on the Magian captives. Meanwhile, Gabiru arrived as well and greeted Rimuru. He said, Rimuru-sama, I'm back. They chit-chat for a while and later on, Gabiru takes out a letter and presents it to Rimuru. Rimuru asked what it is and Gabiru responded, it's a letter from Milam-sama. She told me to deliver it to Rimuru-sama. Rimuru opened the letter and it says, "This is Milim. Next time I visit, I'll be bringing along some guys who just can't seem to leave me the heck alone. I want you to teach them everything there is to know about cooking. This is an urgent request, so I figured I'd ask my buddy Rimuru for help. Please, please, please." Both Rimuru and Gabiru thinks that the people Milim means are the worshippers of dragons. Hermes, Midlay's assistant and a priest of the dragon faithful that worships Milim Nava, told Gabiru that the worshippers of dragons have a very simple lifestyle. That's why they believe that there is no need to pay too much attention in moderating Milim-sama's diet. Rimuru suggested that, if that's the case, we shall treat her to a feast during her next visit. And Gabiru replied, "Yes. What a great idea. They must create a scenario for the worshippers to realize how to make Milim happier." And that's it for today's video. Now, I have a surprise for my Discord community members. I want to give a shout out to my top 10 Veldora-kun subordinates. Starting with Ciel, Osiris, Publius, Marco, Rudranam, Diablo, Remu, No Life, Comp Gobta, and Galactic Ostrich. I want to thank you guys for always being active. Also, thank you to my members who recently boosted the server. Thanks Omega and Andy Arbeat. To everyone who wishes to join our epic server, you are welcome. The invitation link is in the description below. Also, I will soon announce an event. So stay tuned. See you on my next upload.